A European summit, including President Zelensky, begins today in Cyprus and will continue tomorrow. The EU formally approves the €90 billion loan to Ukraine, and Hungary and Slovakia both confirm that they have received oil flows from the Druzhba pipeline. I'm Sophia Marie. Let's get into news of the region. Hi, my name is Sophia. I'm a graduate of Georgetown's SFS and the University of Oxford, where I did a master's in Russian and East European studies. I do a daily news segment on news of the Russian East European space. Today, Thursday, April 23rd, Hungary and Slovakia confirmed that they have received oil flows through the Druzhba pipeline, which is a vestige of the Soviet era, bringing Russian oil through Ukraine to Central Europe. Now, due to Russian attacks on Ukraine, this Druzhba pipeline was disrupted for a couple of months since January 27th, I believe, and this caused major discontent between Ukraine and Hungary and Slovakia. Because according to the Kyiv Independent, the pipeline's southern branch route accounts for roughly 86 to 92% of Hungary's oil imports and nearly all of Slovakia's supply. Now, with the Druzhba pipeline operations resuming, the EU has formally now approved the €90 billion loan to Ukraine. Now, this is just ahead of the informal summit in Cyprus, which began today and will continue into tomorrow, which Zelensky also is at. Now, in other news, Russia apparently plans to stop oil exports from Kazakhstan to Germany starting May 1st this next month. So the German Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Energy posted in a statement to DW, quote, Rosneft Germany has informed the Federal Network Agency, acting as a trustee, that following the instructions from the Russian Ministry of Energy, the transit of Kazakh crude oil through the Druzhba pipeline across Russian territory to the PCK refinery is prohibited as of May 1st, 2026. Now, as DW lays out, and as we've talked about before, last month Putin kind of hinted at his government exploring the feasibility of cutting energy supplies to Europe as a way of taking advantage of the situation, obviously, in Iran right now when energy prices are soaring. Now, this is interesting. There was a study published today from the Pew Research Center showing that Republicans and independents who lean Republican have, by 21 percentage points, decreased their confidence that Donald Trump, as US president, will be able to handle the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Now, for Republicans and independents leaning Republican, who obviously, as this is their party's leader, are more confident in Donald Trump being able to solve the Russia-Ukraine war in comparison, obviously, to like Democrats, to liberals. However, this has gone down from about 81% saying that they had confidence in Donald Trump being able to handle the situation in July of 2024 to now 60% as of March 2026. Okay, now domestically in Russia, this is super interesting because it's very tied to what I did my dissertation on for my master's at Oxford. So according to the Moscow Times, yesterday, Putin signed a decree renaming the FSB, which is Russia's counterintelligence agency, after Felix Dzerzhinsky, who was the founder of the Cheka, so the Soviet secret police. Now, the academy, like the higher school for the KGB, used to be named after Dzerzhinsky, but then in 1992, when Russia was in a process of trying to appear more reformed, wanting to separate from the image of the KGB and like Soviet Cold Era style espionage activities, they stripped Dzerzhinsky, the name of Dzerzhinsky, from the FSB Academy. However, it appears to be returning back. Now, Putin's decree cites Dzerzhinsky's, quote, outstanding contribution to ensuring state security. Now, obviously, as the founder of the Cheka, the Soviet-era secret police in the early 1900s, he was responsible for mass executions during the Red Terror. Names are obviously very symbolic about the associations that governments want to draw, this return to this past, this nostalgia for a Soviet figure is really interesting given the fact that, over 20 years ago, in an attempt to appear more reformed to the West and to its own domestic audience, stripping that title and then now bringing it back. Now, lastly, I want to get into Georgia. So the Trump Organization announced a 70-story Trump Tower in Tbilisi, the capital of the country of Georgia. According to EurasiaNet, it would be the tallest tower, not just in Tbilisi, not just in the whole country of Georgia, but in the entire Caucasus region. Now, critics see this as a way for the ruling party Georgian Dream to get in some good graces with the Trump administration, obviously given the fact that it's seen as more and is more pro-Russian and more authoritarian, has more authoritarian tendencies, and risks potential sanctions from Europe and from the US. So this is seen as a way for the ruling party Georgian Dream to kind of appeal to the US administration. EurasiaNet also lays out that this is a way that Georgia can assert some priority in the US administration's view as the Trump route for international peace and prosperity, which will connect Armenia and Azerbaijan. Georgia risks being economically bypassed by that. That's a lot of news for today, but that's it. Make sure to like and follow. All your support really helps me build an audience, and I'm also posting these things to YouTube Shorts as well. So make sure to follow my YouTube channel at Sophia Marie George. Thanks so much and have a great day.